Hey y'all, Halfmilesniper here, and we are on the range today with a freshly cleaned 6.5 PRC, freshly cleaned and bore scrubbed. That means we're going to try testing some copper ammo again. So, we'll hump down range, get the target camera set up, show you what we got, and we'll try to get this done, see if we get any improvement. So, y'all sit back, kick your feet up, enjoy the ride. Alrighty, well, those of y'all that have been around a while know that I tried to make some copper hunting ammo for my 6.5 PRC using the Barnes 130 grain TSX, and it just didn't work out. Best I could get was like right at an inch group. So we tried it again on a clean bore. Didn't get any improvement. We're trying it again today on a clean bore, but this time we're going to be trying the 127 grain LRX, and we're going to be pushing it with H4831. Today I'm running bright orange 1-inch dots. We're going to shoot a following group with the remaining 130 grain Barnes I have, which I have an odd number of that for some reason. I have 4. And then we're going to shoot 53 grains, 53.4, 53.8, 54.2, and 54.6 grains of H4831 SC, which 54.6 by the Barnes data is the maximum load. Okay, I got a little bit of setup to do. We'll bring you back there and we'll get to shooting, so sit tight. Okay. We got the target up, we got the target camera running, the yellow running, and in the summertime it gets plenty bright out here, and cameras have a pretty good view. In the winter and springtime it's really dark. Not a lot I can do about that. So we are going to start off with a fouling group. I have 4 rounds of the Barnes 130 grain TSX loaded with 53 grains of H4831 SC. 2 of the rounds are in the Pua brass and 2 are in, I believe, Hornady brass, because I was doing a test. That's why I have an odd number. I only shot 3 rounds and I loaded 5 of each. That explains that. So anyways, last time I tested copper ammo in a clean bore, there was several of y'all, not pointing any fingers, not getting upset about it or anything, but several of y'all that rightly pointed out I didn't foul the barrel. Well, I didn't think to make any copper rounds to foul the barrel with, so I didn't want to foul it with the regular ammo. I might want to change my glasses. Be right back. There, I'm back. So as I was saying, I didn't want to foul it with regular ammo, so I didn't. And that seemed to have upset a few people, but that's okay, because I'm going to foul it today. Those dots are huge. They're the 1-inch dots and they're orange. And I'm just going to take a couple of dry fires because this rifle has a 3.5 pound trigger pull. I've never changed the trigger. It's the factory trigger. And after shooting that 2-pound trigger on the Solus, I need to get used to that 3-pounder. Okay. Let me get my ears in, got my eyes on. Chronograph. I need my chronograph. Give me another second. Okay. Chronograph is mounted. Sorry for the delay. Now I need another shot of accuracy juice. Okay, as I was saying, I've been shooting the Solus, and it only has a 2-pound trigger, so had to get accustomed to these 3-pound trigger. Again, this is going to be 4 rounds of 130 grain Barnes solid copper with 53 grains of H4831 SC, the ammo that didn't shoot for squat. We're going to use to foul the rifle with. Double check, make sure I didn't short stroke. I did. There we go, that felt better. And this will be on the left-hand dot, the one marked fouling. And that shot went, looks like 3 inches higher than the first shot. And that is a huge group. Got 2 just above the 1-inch dot, and then 2 way higher. Some of that I think we can chalk up to following the bore. Some of it, that 130 grain stuff just doesn't shoot. So let me get things reset, get the magazine reloaded, and I'll bring y'all right back and we'll start this test. I took the liberty to run down, verify how the target looked, and reset the camera just to make sure it was still running. The group, it's not as big as it looked through the scope, but it's still way too big. And when I loaded this LRX ammo, or LRX bullet, I don't know why, but I loaded 5 rounds of each that we're going to test. So we're actually going to put 25 rounds down there. We're going to shoot 5-round groups, even though I'd much rather shoot a 3-round group. But I had the components, so we put it together, and now we're going to shoot it. We're going to start out at 53 grains of H4831 SC, pushing the 127 grain Barnes LRX in my 6.5 PRC. We're going to be shooting starting on the left-hand dot, not the following group. Okay. .28-23. Well, that one doesn't want to chamber. That's a first. 2835. Now, that felt like a short stroke, but we'll see. Yes, it was. Yeah. Today's ammo is all loaded with CCI primers in Nosler brass. Third shot was 2796. God, that's an ugly group. That looks like it's going to be a 3-inch group easy. $28.29. Now, let me take a look at this round here and see what's up. I see. I should have done a little better quality control when I was loading that. Kind of rolled the edge. So we're going to go with 4 rounds. Our 4-round average, 28.21.1. Extreme spread of 39.9 and a standard deviation of 15.1 and a terrible group. We'll see if I continue having issues chambering rounds, because I did have a couple of times that the bullets were really hard to get started, and I don't know why. I did not measure each and every bullet when I was loading them. Okay, this will be 53.4 grains of 4831 SC. Pushing the 127 grain Barnes. $28.44. $28.30. $28.62. $28.52. Same thing as the other one. I'm going to have to break those two down and see if that, perhaps if that bullet is oversized. Both times the bolt wasn't going fully in the battery to close. And these are loaded to Barnes's OAL of 2.86, which is way shorter than everything else I've been loading. So I gotta look. It's either the bullet's too big in diameter or there's something wrong with the brass at the neck. Anyways, we got 4 rounds down. Our average at at 53.4 was 2847.3, extreme spread of 31.7, standard deviation of 11.6. So we're making headway. We actually starting to get some speed. Supposedly, according to the Barnes data, max load should be running just about 3,000 feet per second. Get my ears back in. This will be, as soon as I get the chronograph set up, man, I cannot complain about how easy that is to set up. This will be 53.8 grains of H4831 SC. Pushing the 127 grain Barnes. And there's another one. Yeah, it's the case neck, I think. Okay, 53.8. $28.59. I don't know, that felt like a short stroke. It was. $28.61.6. I'm not sure. That might have been a short stroke. We'll find out. A little extra trigger pull never hurt. $28.58.6. $28.60.7, and we finally shot a group. I'm guessing it's probably just about an inch, maybe a little bit bigger, but they're like in the same general area, not one high, one low. 53.8 gave us a 4-shot average of 2860.2, extreme spread of 3.0, and standard deviation of 1.1. Get the chronograph reset for the next round. Chronograph is reset. This is going to be 54.2 grains of H4831 SC, pushing the 127 grain Barnes LRX. 53.8 actually gave us kind of a group, so maybe we're starting to zero in on something. We'll see. They're hitting quite a bit higher than everything else. And there's another round that doesn't want to load. Kind of a weird mark on the neck. Okay, 54.2 on the next to the last dot. $28.82.8. 2853.9. Come on. That was me. I jerked the tar out of the trigger. 2876.7. And that case came out warm, actually. Uh-oh, got another one. We're going to go get a 3-shot group out of this one. Yeah, I got to see if the some of those rounds are a little bit bigger in diameter. Or some of the bullets, I should say. I have the worst luck with the copper ammo. A 3-round group with 54.2 gave us a 2871.1, extreme spread of 28.9, and a standard deviation of 12.4. This is the first any sort of ammo issue I've had with the 6.5 and ammo I've made. Very weird. Chronograph is reset. We're going to shoot the max load here, which according to Barnes data should be breaking 3,000 feet per second. I think we'll be lucky to break 2,900. Be even happier if I can get 5 of them to go off instead of just 4 or 3. Okay. On the final dot, right hand side, 54.6 grains, 4831 SC, the max load according to Barnes. Barrel is a little bit on the warm side. I could see the heat waves in the scope. 2909.1. Oh, that's a rare treat. The Garmin didn't catch that one. $28.86.0. $28.90.4. That third shot, I may have jerked that trigger a little bit. It didn't feel real good, but it didn't feel that bad. And there we go. Can't get a 5th shot. Same thing, jacked up neck. Wow. Yeah, I'm going to have to break those down and dig into that a little bit. Max load, according to Barnes, gave us a 3-shot average, because the second shot it didn't catch. 2895.2, extreme spread of 23.1. Standard deviation 10.0. And other than the third shot, which I may have jerked that trigger a little bit, that group looked really good. We'll go down and go get that target. see if there's any possibility that I may try some more copper here. Coffee break, accuracy juice, we'll go get the target. So I'm a little bit confused by why the barrel's so warm, because 4831 SC didn't run warm last time I shot it. At least I don't remember it running warm. But I also didn't shoot that very fast. I didn't give it a whole lot of time to cool between groups, but just seemed to be running hot today. I don't know. I don't know if it's the bullet, the load, some sort of warp in the time-space continuum. I don't know. But when we got close to 2,900 feet per second with the 127 grain projectile, they started grouping up. So let's take a look. We're almost to the target. The target camera died. I thought it had a full battery when I set it up. It was doing fine when I checked it after the following group, which looked terrible. One of these was, let's see, first shot, second shot. Those two were Lapua. Lapua brass. First shot with the Hornady brass, second shot with the Hornady brass. That's about how the 130 grain shot for me everywhere I shot. Shot 3 high, 1 low here with 53.0. Started grouping up a little bit and had really nice numbers there at 53.4. I think we had a SD of 1. 53.8, not too bad of a group. 54. Yeah, I took a running start. I jerked that trigger. That was mean. That was the one that we only got 3 shots off because the case necks were jacked up on some of those rounds. 54.6. I kind of jerked the trigger, kind of felt it, but then I put 3 touching. So we might have to revisit the Barnes and probably start at 54.6 and see what we get. And then I got to change batteries on my target camera because I don't know why it died. It was a fresh 100% battery. Oh, I have one battery it shows 100% and then it dies quickly. I think I need to replace it. But hey, that's neither here nor there. Let's go back and measure this up and see how ugly these look. Wow, that was ugly. 6.5 PRC with the 127 grain Barnes, H4831 for the powder. Our following group was shot with the 130 grain stuff that didn't shoot for squat for me. It had 53 grains H4831 SC, and as you can see, I had the calipers zeroed to the bullet, so it shows negative 0.264. So we get our center to center dimension. Following group gave us 1.973 inches. Yuck. 53 grains with the 127 gave us a 2.45 inch group. 53.4 gave us a 1.41 inch group, getting smaller. 53.8 gave us a 0.890 inch group. That's actually not too bad. Speed wasn't where it should be, but not too bad. I don't remember. Yes, I did. I jerked the trigger there. I jerked the trigger and we got the 0.216 inch group, complements my trigger jerk. 54.6. Third shot, I felt like I jerked the trigger. Group was 1.32 inches. If I take that trigger jerk out, that group shrinks to 0.33. Yeah, don't jerk the trigger. I need to make some more and retest this. Thinking about that brass, we had 5 rounds that I couldn't get the chamber. And the next, they look weird. I didn't notice it when I loaded the ammo. So I don't know if those projectiles were a little bit oversized and that's what's causing the issue, or if my brass, that nozzler brass, is reaching the end of its useful lifespan. So I'm going to reload that starting at 50, probably 54.2. But I'll use different brass, either some of the Norma brass or some of the Lapua brass, and see what we get out of it. At least it's starting to group up. It's more than I can save for the 130 grain stuff. Let's go back over the bench and we'll flap our gums for a minute. Okay, the barrel's cooling. It's still pretty darn warm, but I can hold on to it now. Yeah, I think part of my preference for 3-round groups is less heat on the barrel, trying to save a little bit of barrel life, even though, part of my intention with this rifle was to actually burn the barrel out and to do it all on camera and watch the death of the barrel progress through use of the bore scope. So I don't know if I should try to speed that along or if I want to drag it out. But I'm relatively pleased that I actually started getting a group with the copper ammo. I may actually be able to come up with a suitable load for hunting that I can take this rifle out and hunt with before the barrel's gone. Because in this state, you can only hunt with copper ammo. Somehow they think putting a piece of lead in an animal is going to give that animal lead poisoning or something. Actually, what they think is if you put a piece of lead in the animal and don't kill it, the animal runs off, and then the scavengers come and eat it, then they're getting secondhand lead poisoning, when in reality, as soon as the lead is exposed to oxygen, it begins to oxidize, and once it has that layer of lead oxide encapsulating the lead, it's not leaching any more lead. But hey, you can't tell environmentalists and the left anything. I mean, just look at the court decision. You got a federal judge who twice ruled magazine bans are unconstitutional. The first time he did that, the appeals court agreed with him. The state won an en banc hearing, and of course the left-leaning en banc judges, oh no, it's perfectly constitutional. The Supreme Court kicked it back, said, no, you got to review this, relook at it, use these guidelines. So instead of looking at it, they sent it back to the first judge, who said, yep, it's unconstitutional. And the state didn't like that. And instead of letting it go back to the three-judge appeals court, they went straight to en banc hearing. Over a year ago was the hearing. Just the other day, the ruling came out. Oh no, it's perfectly constitutional. The judge is wrong. No, the left-leaning judges are wrong. Soapbox, get off it, Mikey. Okay. Hey, I appreciate y'all hanging with me. I really do appreciate it. Y'all hanging out in the chat and watching the premieres and commenting. And I'm sure this one here is going to bring up some hate because, oh, you don't know what you're doing. You couldn't load those rounds. Blah, 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 this and that. No. That's the first bad batch of anything I've had with this gun. And I want to see if it's the brass dying or if it's the projectile was out of spec. So, as always, Halfmilesniper reminding y'all, stay strapped or get clapped, carry everywhere you can, get a CCW if you need one. Don't mind the fighter jets. Sound of freedom. Get a CCW if you need one, carry everywhere you can. If you're in a constitutional carry state, get a CCW anyways. You may travel. Not everyone recognizes constitutional carry or CCWs. I will have something about that coming along soon. time to punch out, go put my toys away. We'll come back to the range another day and shoot some more. So, as always, Half Mile Sniper reminding y'all, stay safe, keep shooting. We'll catch you next time.
Send it. Hit.